New allegations this morning against swimming legend Grant Hackett with claims he groped a passenger during a flight. Police are investigating.
It's a crucial day for the 60 Minutes team and the Australian mum detained in Beirut with a court hearing to decide the next step.
Double trouble for Malcolm Turnbull. Two polls, both bringing bad news as politicians return to Parliament.
Australia's war on terriers goes to court. Johnny Depp is on the Gold Coast to defend Pistol and Boo.
Retire when you want. The easy secrets to giving up work just when it suits you.
Good evening and welcome to television news.
And happy birthday to the Gogglebox. We're celebrating 60 years of television.
And a very good morning to you all across this great country of ours. It is Monday, the 18th of April, 2016, and we are still having fun. Hope you are too at home. Lisa, good morning.
Yeah, good morning to you, Carl.
Nice to see you.
60 years of TV.
60.
So much to celebrate this week.
Oh, yeah.
Love that show.
Just to make things even better this morning, Timmy Gilbert, the Big Easy's
Oh,
back. He's rich in the house.
Nice to be back, nice to be back. It's a Ruby anniversary, isn't it? 60. Gosh, we're going to wind the clock back a bit later. What about winding the clock back? North Melbourne. James Brayshaw's doing star jumps this morning. They are on top of the table.
Thanks for that. All right, time to kick off the news. Here's Sylvia.
Good morning, Carl, Lisa. Good morning to you at home. We begin this morning with Olympian Grant Hackett. He is in hiding today after allegedly harassing another passenger on a flight from Adelaide to Melbourne. Today, Melbourne reporter Christina Hearn is live with the latest on this. Chris, good morning. It is an unfortunate look for the swimmer. What can you tell us? Seems a troubling time for him. Christina Hearn, we'll check in with you again later. Thank you. Carl.
Two young girls and their grandparents have died in a horror car crash in South Australia. It happened when a station wagon and a truck collided head-on on the Augusta Highway in the state's mid-north. The grandparents and the girls, aged 5 and 10, died at the scene. The truck driver was trapped and suffered head and leg injuries, while a passenger was airlifted to the Royal Adelaide Hospital. Federal politicians are back in Canberra today for a special sitting of Parliament, which may result in us going to the polls on July 2. Live to 9 political reporter Charles Croucher. Charles, the latest opinion poll shows support for the two major parties is on a knife edge. Good on you, Charles. Thank you for that. Talk to you soon.
Police have confirmed they are treating the death of Brisbane woman Melanie Floyd as a homicide investigation. The 28-year-old was found unconscious in her apartment in suburban Windsor by her partner on Wednesday before being rushed to hospital with critical head injuries. She died 3 days later when her life support was turned off. Her partner, Tim Piatkowski, has so far refused to speak to police. A promising football player from Melbourne's northeast remains on life support after he was the victim of a coward punch during a late-night brawl. 19-year-old Patrick Cronin had been in a bar in Diamond Creek celebrating his first senior match. A fight broke out involving up to 40 people and Mr Cronin was punched in the head.
To Lebanon now, where the detained 60 Minutes crew and Brisbane mother Sally Faulkner are set to face a Beirut court today. 9 Europe correspondent Tom Steinfort joins us live. Tom, what can we expect from the court proceedings? OK, Tom, big day ahead. Thank you. Lisa.
A decade on from their harrowing ordeal, the men at the middle of the Beaconsfield mine disaster have spoken about how it still haunts them. Brant Webb and Todd Russell spent 14 days confined in a small cage in the Tasmanian mine following a rock collapse in 2006. Mr Russell spoke of the mental scars he's suffered, including depression and PTSD. Last night, 60 Minutes revealed shocking footage of the two men covered in rubble while they were trapped underground. Well, a little home improvement by a British man has led to an amazing archaeological discovery. This Roman mosaic was left untouched for 14 centuries in an English farmyard. The mosaic, which has been covered up to protect it from the weather, is believed to be part of a large villa dating back to 200 AD. Nice stuff. All right, let's get a check of the weather. Stevie is in the house. Good morning, Stevie.
Yeah, very good morning to you, Lisa. G'day, everyone. Weather-wise, so we've got a few thundery showers for the southwest of Western Australia, a few thundery falls for the top end, and a trough bringing some showers down the Queensland and New South Wales coast. If we go to the maps, we'll probably see most of that happening where you are waking up today. So let's check it out today. In Cairns, we've got a top of 30 degrees today, and Townsville will hit 30 degrees also. Possible shower or storm for Darwin, and a top of 34 degrees. It's lovely to have the family back together. You got the two big men bookending the desk again.
Exactly right.
Always good to see.
Keeping
Massive
it all
units.
together.
Yes, just snuggle up and keep warm between Timmy and I today. We'll break out, won't we, Timmy?
More than prepared to offer you a couple of kgs. You're a bit lighter. Bits and pieces, just bits and pieces, Stephen.
We shared the spray tan booth together this
Well
morning.
done. That's nice.
She's at squeezy in there, let me tell you.
We've got some vision about to show everyone later too.
Yeah.
Thank you for that, though. Let's get some
Yeah,
spoilers.
we should put some clothes on. Coming up, North Melbourne makes a historic start to the year. The Kangaroos bouncing around the place, aren't they? Bruno Fornaroli lights up the A-League finals.
And we meet the 16-year-old Aussie who dropped out of school and moved to New York. Now he's worth millions. Find out how he did it ahead right here on Today. Happy Monday, folks.
Welcome back to the show. Let's check out the front pages around the country, and making headlines this morning on Melbourne's Herald Sun. Mile-high maniac Olympic swimmer Grant Hackett could face charges after allegedly assaulting a passenger on a flight between Adelaide and Melbourne. And on the Daily Mail, Princess Mary of Denmark and her family have stepped out to celebrate Queen Marguerite's 76th birthday.
She's still going strong, isn't she?
It's good news, isn't it? Yeah. Well, Hollywood star Johnny Depp and his wife Amber Heard, they're back in Queensland. Morning, guys.
Hi.
They're preparing this morning to face a Gold Coast court over their dogs Pistol and Boo.
Gee, they're troublemakers, those two,
have
aren't
been.
they? Well, the hearing comes after Deputy PM Barnaby Joyce famously threatened to have the dogs put down. Today, Queensland reporter Ashlyn Krukellis is at the court this morning where it's all going to be happening. Ashlyn, everybody trying to catch a glimpse of Johnny and Amber on the Goldie, no doubt?
Noticeably absent.
They could be incognito, just, you know, casually walking
Let's
past.
get a confit out there.
Thanks, Ashlyn. We'll check in with you soon. Well, still ahead, Stevie has a huge knock of cash announcement. Find out how you can nominate a very deserving winner.
Good stuff. Plus, we'll reveal the entire town up for sale, and it's right here in Australia.
And one of our favourites, Pink, is back. She's still a rock star with a brand new single, and we have your first listen coming up shortly.
She's amazing, isn't she?
Yeah.
Top of the hour, time for the top of the news. Here's SJ.
Thank you, Carl. Good morning again. Leading the news, Olympian Grant Hackett has been questioned by federal police after allegedly harassing another passenger on a domestic flight. Today, Melbourne reporter Christina Hearn has the latest on this live from Melbourne Airport. Chris, what happened on that plane? For now, it's with the police. Christine, thank you. A sniper who was in place during the Lindt Cafe siege reportedly believes he would have been able to shoot dead Man Monis, but was ordered not to by senior officers. Let's go to our Sydney reporter, Chris Urquhart. Chris, an explosive revelation this morning. All right, Chris Urquhart, thank you. To Ecuador now, where a state of emergency has been declared in 6 provinces as the death toll from a powerful earthquake rises to more than 230. The quake struck a coastal area north of the capital during the middle of the night. 13,000 troops and police have been deployed to help rescue operations. And a quartet of cute and cuddly baby Siberian tigers has met the public for the first time at a zoo in China. The little girls and boys wasted no time moving on to solid food, tucking into a steak alongside mum, I suppose. We just want to make sure they're not hungry when they're meeting the public for the first time, if you know what I mean.
Like a pretty awful piece of meat.
I tell you what, if you're mum, you'd be very pleased they'd moved on to solids, wouldn't you?
Exactly right.
Seen the size of those teeth?
The earlier the better, huh?
Have you gone off pandas?
Here's a steak.
Have you gone off pandas while I've been away?
Yeah.
I'm an equal opportunity baby animal kind of
She hasn't
news reader.
featured pandas in a good 3 or 4 weeks.
I think she's off them.
I do like the pandas.
Well, you don't want to look like you're neglecting the tigers, you know, because then you become, you know, you're in their sights.
Yeah, good point.
They look like they've been neglected enough anyway.
That's a nice looking steak. They're not doing too bad.
Inside a nice looking prison.
Yes. All right, still to come. Thanks, Sylvia.
Just doing my best over here.
That's true, you do very well. Australia celebrates 60 years of TV. We've got to look back at the stars, the shows and the moments you will never forget.
Plus, we could be dialing your number when we make our block of cash call. Keep your phones close. Today could be your lucky day, eh?
And up next, aren't the Kangaroos hopping around this morning? They stay undefeated for 2016. All your sports news on the way. This is Today. Great to have your company.
Welcome back to the program. Well, as the Turnbull government heads into a critical recalled sitting in Parliament this week, polls out this morning suggest the expected July 2 election is still anyone's game. Ben Fordham joins us now. Benny, good morning to you. Hold the phone. Bill Shorten within 3 months could be Prime Minister.
I still don't think he's going to get there, Bill Shorten, but he's in the game. He's in with the shots.
The Fin Review's likened the truckie blockade and the protests in Canberra to politics in general in Australia at the moment. It's just going round and round and
well,
round.
That's true.
It's just a mess, right?
Essentially handed a free pass to the unions and also to the big trucking companies while making it really hard for smaller owner-operators to compete. This should be one that they get up this week to abolish that tribunal, and Malcolm Turnbull will finally look like he's done something.
You have to be confident with that one. A quick update on Richo.
Breaking news. Richo can drink black tea again.
He has just sent me while we've been on air a text message. He says, tell Fordo he's dreaming if he thinks he's got that slot full time. Great to see you, buddy.
Good on you, mate. Get well soon, Richo.
But get well, Richo. Lovely.
Not too soon. I like coming here on a Monday morning.
Fordo does look very comfortable in that spot, you'd have to say. Yeah, good morning to you, Richo. Get well soon. Well, still to come, he's the king of Australian television. Wasn't he a classic? From Graham Kennedy to Kath and Kim, we're celebrating 60 years of fabulous TV. And next in the news, more details about Grant Hackett's in-flight drama. You're watching Today. It's Monday, folks. See you right after this.
Why didn't you tell me I had that on?
I couldn't tell the difference, mate.
The fabulous Strop and Paul Hogan. That is classic TV right there. And it's Australian television's 60th birthday this year. We've dug out some of the best clips.
Let's get some sport now with Timmy Gilbert.
Bit of Arthur Dunger there. All right, AFL and North Melbourne is on top of the ladder for the first time in more than 17 years after a 31-point victory over Fremantle. So there you go, a little splash of sport. And it's great to see some Hogues and some Don Lane and some Graham Kennedy and some Bert Newton. Oh, I love it.
Great stuff, buddy. Thank you. Let's check out what's happening with the weather now with the great Steve Jacobs. Hello, buddy.
Thank you very much. 60 years of television. I remember it like it was yesterday, Carl. What a great kick-off that was. We've got some showers around the country today on the west and the east coast. Let's go to the fly-around, see what's happening in your backyard. Pretty exciting celebrating 60 years of television. It was just like yesterday. They used to watch Graham Kennedy and Dickie.
All together now?
All together now. Come on, between us, Dickie, we've covered most of that time.
We have covered a fair percentage of it, that's true.
What colour when you started?
Thank you, Stevie. See you soon, buddy. Still to come, it's an opportunity as sweet as they come, how you can be the owner of an entire town.
And in the news ahead, a rough day for Johnny Depp and Amber Heard as they face court over their dogs, Pistol and Boo. We are live to the Gold Coast.
And plenty going on in entertainment. Pink is back with a brand new song for a very special occasion. All that and a whole lot more coming up next.
Good morning to you. Welcome back to the Today Show right across the country. Look, it's true in life. It's as dangerous to be overpaid as it is to be underpaid. Now, it's true for the government as well. And here's where your wages do come into this. Right now, wages growth is at record lows. You can see it here. So that puts real pressure on families. Families whose spending is squeezed put less money into our economy, so business sales then grow more slowly as well. But the good news is it says that income growth will start to pick up again in the next couple of years. It also says this is a great time for Australia to smell the roses because our economy has fared much better than anybody ever imagined it would. Happy Monday to you. Let's go to the markets and have a look where they start the week as well. You can see the Aussie dollar. That's got stronger over the weekend as well. 76.6 US cents, 67.7 euro cents as well. On commodity markets, you see part of the reason for that is the oil price above $40 US a barrel and gold price is strong. If we go to the Dow Jones index last Friday night, you can see it was down by 29 points at the close. And on Friday, our All Ordinaries index of Australian shares, well, it was actually, where was it last Friday? It was up by 36 points. So that's finance for this morning. Have a great week. Here's Richard Wilkins with entertainment.
Good morning again. Yes, it is time for a little entertainment, and as we speak, the world's young and beautiful are partying in the Colorado desert at the annual Coachella Music Festival. Headline act, of course, the reformed Rock and Roll Hall of Famers Guns N' Roses, Axl, Slash and Duff back together for the first big gig on their Not in This Lifetime tour, and boy did they hit it. Check them out. Oh, yes. But it's official. Look, I think they needed to do something big and make a big statement, and Axl Rose out front of AC/DC is going to be fantastic. That will be such
really
a spectacle.
good, yeah.
The guy can sing, the band can play. It's going to be terrific.
Everybody's going to be out with a scorecard from that one.
That's true. Very true, Lisa.
He's got a moon boot on, yeah. He's done something to his leg.
Happened?
Yeah, he has.
Anyhow, that's probably why he's stacked it on.
Thanks, Richard. Here are the top stories on today.
Charitable.
Yeah, still having fun all this time on. More of that a little bit later in the program. But this morning, Olympian Grant Hackett is in hiding after allegedly assaulting another passenger on a flight from Adelaide to Melbourne. Today, reporter Christina Hearn joins us live from Melbourne Airport. Chris, some pretty disturbing allegations against the swimmer. What happened? Christina Hearn, thank you.
Police have confirmed they're treating the death of Brisbane woman Melanie Floyd as a homicide investigation. The 28-year-old was found in her apartment in Windsor with critical head injuries, but died in hospital when her family agreed for her life support to be turned off. Her partner, Tim Piakowski, has so far refused to speak to police. A 24-year-old will face court in Queensland today, charged over a series of dangerous driving incidents tracked from the air for 3 hours by a police helicopter. The stolen Toyota was observed driving across Logan and Brisbane, swerving on the wrong side of the road and running red lights. Road spikes punctured the car's tyres, allowing police to arrest the driver and his passenger.
Polls out this morning suggest the expected July 2 election is still anyone's game. Employment Minister Michaelia Cash joins us now. Good morning to you, Minister.
Good morning, Carl. How are you?
OK, you're front and centre at the front there of Parliament, leading the charge to get rid of the Truckies Tribunal. Why has it taken you so long to wake up to this story?
It hasn't taken us that long. We've been working on this for many, many weeks now.
The polls this morning, boy, oh boy, do you need to get to that election quick?
The poll that counts is a poll on election day.
Does Malcolm have the full support of the board?
Malcolm has the absolute support of all of us.
OK, we appreciate your time today. Thank you.
Fascinating to watch Question Time today. Well, heartache for a South Australian family this morning after two little girls and their grandparents were all killed in a head-on collision. Nine's Tracy Alexander is at the site near Crystal Brook this morning. Tracy, we're just looking at the scenes there, just devastating. OK, Tracy Alexander, thanks very much. Sylvia?
More than 230 people have been killed by a massive 7.8 magnitude earthquake, which has wreaked havoc across Ecuador. Reporter Tessa Hardy joins us live from our LA bureau now with the latest. Tessa, a state of emergency now in place. So much destruction. Still a lot of anxiety around the Ring of Fire at the moment. Tessa Hardy, thank you very much. Carl.
Well, now to the government's war on terriers. Johnny Depp and his wife Amber Heard have returned to the Gold Coast and are set to face court today, with Ms Heard accused of illegally smuggling their dogs Pistol and Boo into the country. Today, reporter Ashlyn Kellis is at the court this morning. Gee, they were selling tickets this morning. They'd make a fortune, wouldn't they? What can you tell us? All right, Ashlyn, and more on that story with Eddie Maguire in 4 minutes' time. Thank you, Lisa.
Just think Johnny Depp missed Barnaby Joyce being Prime Minister by that much.
Oh, yeah.
That could have been very interesting. All right, ahead, we've got some cash to give away.
Vlog is excited and ready to go. It's the massive Vlog of Cash giveaway that'll make you jump for joy. We're giving away $10,000 every day. It's easy to win. Just pick up the phone within 5 rings and say, I wake up with today.
So here's the important thing. Make sure you are watching because you don't want to miss your chance to win $10,000. Right now, though, it's time for a check of the weather on this Monday morning. How's it looking, Stevie?
Thank you very much, Lisa. It is looking a little bit wet down the coast of Queensland and New South Wales, but rain, hail or shine, the money just keeps on coming. I've got 50 grand to give away, and it's for a very special reason. I'll tell you what that is right after we have a look at the weather around the country. We are seeing showers down the coast of Queensland. Alice Springs sunny and 31, and a possible shower or storm for Darwin. What is the big news? Well, guess what, everyone? The knock of cash is back.
Happy Mother's Day, Mama.
Yeah, today is celebrating Mother's Day with a surprise that really will put Brekkie in bed to shame. If you know a mum, a grandma, or even a great-grandmother who could do with a $10,000 helping hand, then all you have to do is nominate them for the knock of cash and they could wake up $10,000 richer. I've met some beautiful women around the country throughout this year and last year, and we are set to surprise another 5 coming up in the lead up to Mother's Day, Carl.
It's going to be sensational, Stevie. Thank you. Well, Grant Hackett is back in the headlines for all the wrong reasons this morning after being accused of groping a fellow passenger on a flight. It's a good morning to Triple M radio host and Millionaire Hot Seat host Eddie Maguire. Eddie, good morning to you. A real worry.
Yeah, Carl, it is. It's a worry because it's achieved so much publicity as well. Obviously, Grant has an issue, Carl, but I think it wasn't anything over the top as far as that concerned. But obviously, the two men in the front, the seat in front of were felt violated by the situation. Now, you're sitting in a plane, you don't need to be touched by anybody. That's what you should be able to expect getting on the plane.
The AFL is heading abroad with Port Adelaide proposing a 2017 Premiership game in, of all places, Shanghai, China. They're trying to advance the game. They love our commodities. Will they love the pies?
Well, no one's loving the pies at the moment, the way we're going. But the biggest issue is finding the place. But hey, why not? Let's start. If we're going to get there, we're going to do this sooner or later.
It's one of the great spectacles in sport, world sport, I reckon. Thank you, Eddie. Best of luck, mate. Lisa.
Thanks, mate. It is getting tense, though.
Eddie's certainly in the hot seat. Thanks, Eddie. Thanks, Carl. Still to come, we're heading back in time.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Steve Liebman, and thank you for joining us on this, the first edition of the National Today Show.
Oh, that is a classic. Very first episode of the Today Show all those years ago. So to celebrate 60 years of Aussie TV, we have dug up some footage you don't want to miss.
Plus, it is the moment we've all been waiting for. Who's calling it quits in tonight's Married at First Sight? We will speak to the experts shortly. It's all ahead on Today.
OK, it is 7:30. That's news time. Here's Sylvia.
Thank you, Lisa. Good morning again. Olympian Grant Hackett has been questioned by federal police overnight after allegedly assaulting another passenger on a flight from Adelaide to Melbourne. Hackett has gone into hiding this morning, but his Sydney 2000 teammate, Matt Welsh, joins us now from Melbourne. Matt, thank you for your time and good morning. It did appear as though Grant had conquered his demons, which he had been open about in the past. Are you surprised by this incident?
Yeah, it is disappointing to sort of hear things like this, especially, as you say, after there was so much positive work done by Hackey in the pool.
He certainly has a very supportive family, which we've seen in years gone by. Matt Welsh, we appreciate your time, your insight this morning. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
A little home improvement by a British man has led to an amazing archaeological discovery. This Roman mosaic was left untouched for 14 centuries under an English farmyard. And wouldn't you like to be in that Southport Magistrates Court when Johnny Depp gives his witness statement?
Yeah, do we know how big the public seating section is? Well, because there will be a real push.
Southport Magistrates Court is not huge, and the rooms are all fairly similar in size from memory, but Monday mornings, I've got to say, at the Southport Magistrates Court are always busy, sometimes a little bit colourful, because people who have done things that they regret over the weekend on Cavill Avenue often end up there on Monday morning. Yeah.
I wonder if Johnny will turn up as Captain Feathersword.
Oh, how good would that be? Feathersword. Call spaghetti. Oh, yeah. Imagine the Wiggles turn up as well.
Wouldn't that be colourful?
Quite the assortment. Yeah. Thank you very much for that, SJ.
Thanks.
All eyes on there.
It's going to be a big one.
77 years of Batman. Which one was your favourite?
But right now it's time for all the sports news with Tim.
Thanks, Lise. Let's have a look at the AFL and Collingwood boss. He's just been on the Today Show, Eddie Maguire. He says coach Nathan Buckley is safe at the club for now, despite the Pies' disappointing start to the year. Yeah. What do you think might happen if they keep losing?
I think we'd have to wait until after Anzac Day.
OK, big one. Yeah. It's a big one.
Yeah.
Good sidestep. Thank you, Tim.
Well, still to come, who can forget this hilarious character from the 70s?
The marriage is OK, bud, isn't it? The marriage is OK. No.
Well, it's all right, but you're not helping them.
It's funny, you know, you don't look Japanese.
You could get away with that stuff in those days.
I don't know. Even for the 70s, it was like,
Norman.
He was out there.
Yeah.
We are celebrating 60 years of Aussie TV, and we've dug up some of the best clips ever. Plenty more to come.
Love Norman Gunston.
Plus, a $10,000 phone call to one lucky viewer this morning. Remember those magical words I wake up with today.
But first, entertainment news now with Richard.
Yes, we can expect to see Ben back as Batman on the big screen in the Justice League movie November next year. J.K. Simmons joining the ensemble cast as Commissioner Gordon. Also Suicide Squad, Wonder Woman and The Flash, flying solo, and Batman sometime after all that. So there you go. Our comics are fertile ground for movie makers. Carl, please.
I'm old school. I still love the TV series I used to watch instead of doing maths homework.
Yeah.
It was great.
Adam West, how good was it?
So good.
Just the underpants on the outside of the tights.
Fabulous.
Nothing's more liberating.
Yeah. All right.
Well, perhaps this next person could help out with the costs. A very talented Aussie. He's a chief executive. On paper, he's a millionaire and he's living the dream in New York City.
His name is Ben Pasternak, and despite all of those achievements, he's still only 16 years old. And I'm pleased to say that he joins us now all the way from the Big Apple. Good morning to you, Ben.
Hey guys, thanks for having me.
It's a pleasure. Yours is an amazing story. You dropped out of school here in Australia and then moved to the other side of the world. That is a huge move, and with your parents' blessing. How's it going for you over there?
Yeah, it's really exciting to launch this new project we've been working on for the past couple months, Vlog.
Congratulations on that, Ben. We first met you a year ago and we're just thrilled for you that it's all going so well. Keep going.
Good on him.
Good guy. All right, still to come, Australia celebrates 60 years of TV. The stars, the shows and the moments you'll never forget.
Plus, we've got more cold, hard cash to give away this morning, folks. Don't miss our block of cash call. Not far away now.
Right now, though, it's time for the news.
And leading the news this morning, a former teammate of Grant Hackett has spoken out this morning about the Olympian's plane drama where he allegedly assaulted another passenger. Today, Melbourne reporter Christina Hearn is live at Melbourne Airport with the latest. Chris, talk us through what Matt Welsh had to say about the incident. Christina Hearn, thank you. Johnny Depp and his wife Amber Heard are due to front court on the Gold Coast today, accused of illegally smuggling the couple's dogs, Pistol and Boo, into the country. Today, Queensland reporter Ashlyn Krukellis is at Southport Magistrates Court this morning. Ashlyn, Amber Heard says she's looking forward to clearing her name. What else can you tell us? That is for sure. Ashlyn Krukellis, 9 News will stay across that today. Thank you very much. Carl.
A little bit of Hollywood on the Gold Coast, as they say. Well, Parliament returns today. Hot tickets there too. 2 weeks earlier than expected to debate the contentious bill for a building industry watchdog. If the bill fails to pass the Senate, Malcolm Turnbull is expected to use that as a trigger for a double dissolution election. Nine's political editor, Laurie Oakes, joins us. Good morning to you, Laurie.
G'day, Carl. I wish Barnaby Joyce was going to that court case in the Gold Coast. It'd liven it up.
The ringmaster.
He'd be a good prosecutor, wouldn't he?
Yeah, indeed. Hey, how much trouble do you think Malcolm Turnbull is in or isn't?
Look, he's in quite a bit of trouble. I think you'd still have to regard him as favourite to win the election.
Do you expect an election to be called in the next couple of weeks?
Yes, look, if these bills are not passed, Malcolm Turnbull doesn't have any choice. If he chickens on this, he'll be the laughingstock. We have a budget on the 3rd of May. Malcolm Turnbull goes to the Governor-General on May the 10th and says, Sir Peter, I want a double dissolution. Sir Peter says, right you are, Malcolm. And we go to the polls on July 2. And if he does anything less than that, he'll look like a total goose.
Good to have you back, Laurie. Hey, the PM has been able to recall Parliament thanks to a rarely used technicality in the Constitution. Now, the last time it was used was 40 years ago. ABBA was at the top of the pops. They were much happier times, weren't they?
Well, they were happier times, but this is no more a technicality, Carl, than any other section of the Constitution.
Sweet as. Thank you very much, Laurie.
Okay,
good to talk
Carl.
to you. Up and running, Laurie Oakes.
Only Laurie Oakes would have the Constitution sitting right there in his hand.
He's got it in his pocket.
It's a teeny tiny little thing, isn't it? You expect it to be a big leather-bound Harry Potter style thing, but it's not. That's it. That's Australia right there in Laurie's left hand.
It's like a golf card.
Good reading too. Wonderful reading.
I'm sure it is.
I go to bed every night with it.
I bet. Thanks, Laurie. Sport time now. Tim.
Oh, mamma mia. All these things are happening in Canberra right at the moment. Now, the AFL, they enjoyed watching GWS win there on the weekend. North Melbourne, the only undefeated team left this season after a 31-point defeat of Fremantle. And A-League, Melbourne City, only one name going around at the moment as they are through to the semi-final against Adelaide United, a 2-0 win over Perth Glory. The name I mentioned is Bruno Fornaroli. There he is with the old bicycle kick. Carl and Lisa.
How do you practice that?
I don't know. You could imagine.
Like, did you practice that when you were a soccer star?
I struggle hard enough just to do this. You know, this bicycle thing when you get on your back and do that?
Yeah.
Imagine doing it when you
When you're up in the air.
Have to do the whole
flipping
thing.
over.
Crazy.
No, you practice it on Yorkeys Knob Beach. That's what we did.
Right.
Yeah, and then you take it onto the soccer field when you're 100%. Like it didn't look unlike this.
Yeah.
That's
Physical.
Let me
Good
hear
core
your
strength
body
there,
talk.
yes, isn't it? Such a great clip, that one.
It just looks odd, doesn't it?
Wowee.
Anyway, he's quite the athlete.
Quite ambidextrous.
Yeah. Let's get some weather now with Stevie Jacobs. Say, Stevie.
First time Timmy's been on the studio floor without being asleep. It's nice to see Timmy. It seems like autumn has finally kicked in Sydney after some warm weather leading into the weekend. Temperatures have cooled quite dramatically into the low 20s. It will stay that way for the next couple of days and slowly start to warm up by the end of the week. Let's see what's happening in the main centres right around the country this morning. G'day to you, Cairns and Townsville. 30 degrees with a few showers. We're seeing wet weather down the coast today. Darwin, possible showers and storms and a top of 34 degrees. I think I did one of those scissor kick once, but it was in ping pong by accident. So.
But you could still go on to have kids, so you're okay. Yeah, it's good.
Coming up, a look back in time.
You've got balls.
I'm going to let you play with them.
It's good to be alive.
There you go, the early roots of Dickie's balls.
Oh,
Good to
yeah.
see. We're celebrating 60 years of Australian television, and wait until you see the footage that we've dug up.
We might have to go back more than 60 years to find out Dickie's.
Just.
A lot of history to them.
So much history in TV. Are you hoping to kick back and retire early? I am. I might be forced
Tomorrow.
And we're getting close to today's big block of cash call. Watch, pick up, and say those magic words to win. That's all coming up on Today.
Just like fire.
Yeah, some pretty bleak headlines over the last 24 hours for swimming legend Grant Hackett. He is back in the headlines for the wrong reasons after being accused of allegedly groping a fellow passenger on a flight yesterday. Let's get into the mixed grill now and say good morning to Sonia Kruger and David Campbell. Morning to you guys.
Morning, Carlos.
Not a great morning for Hackey, is it?
Look, we've talked about Hackett a lot this morning about what's been going on with him, but I actually want to talk about the fact that I think there's a misnomer here that people think that they can go to an addiction clinic for, pay $50,000, whatever it is you go to these expensive clinics for. Yeah. You're going to go for a month and then you're cured. It's a myth, and people need to stop thinking that it's a one-stop shop.
And the shame of it is that Hackett was sort of on track to provide commentary at the Rio Olympics.
All right, the best kept secret in show business is official. Now, I wanted to get you guys on this because there's a real feeling and sentiment of outrage here. Guns N' Roses frontman Axl Rose is the new head singer of Aussie icon AC/DC.
What?
Now, that's
Sonia, are you in disbelief?
I am in absolute disbelief.
I am,
about
because
this.
we led the charge here on the Today. There he is, Axl at Coachella.
He's looking good.
Is that him?
I think.
Yes.
Or is that a pumpkin?
No.
While we're here, Cold Chisel, Cold Chisel, the telly movie,
Yes.
right? Playing Jimmy Barnes.
Yeah.
David Campbell.
Do it. This is your audition right now, bro.
I got them on the ride! I get the Johnny Depp.
Wow.
No, that's
big round of applause for Jimmy Barnes.
Yeah.
What a surprise.
What do you
I'm a
think,
Jimmy
though?
Barnes impersonator. What a surprise.
The apple doesn't fall far.
You think I don't have to go to a court of law or anything like that? Do you think I'm okay?
It's hard to escape DNA.
Yeah.
Look, thank you two. Look forward to seeing what's on your show as well as
See you,
that.
buddy.
Great stuff. Coming up, the Duchess of Style. Learn how you can own Kate Middleton's outfits for a fraction of the cost. Yes. But right after the break, how does an extra $10,000 sit with you this morning? We could be dialing your number, and we're also going back to the courthouse on the Gold Coast, just arriving now, Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. We got any sound there? No, we don't. Anyway, so we'll have to wait and see what happens inside. As you can see, a huge meeting continued at the Southport Court. It's pretty busy on a Monday morning. It's even busier now with all those compressed airs. It's an absolute circus. More details coming up as they make their way into the Southport Courthouse. Historic day as Hollywood comes to the Gold Coast for all the wrong reasons. We're back in a moment.
Well, this was the scene just moments ago as Johnny Depp and his wife Amber Heard arrived at court on the Gold Coast. They are there to face charges of illegally smuggling their dogs into the country last year. A very heavy police presence, and as you can see, a very large media scrum as well. Ashlyn Krukellis was among that scrum there, and she joins us now. Ashlyn, not your average Monday morning at Southport Magistrates Court. Did they say anything on their way in?
There they go. They do a great job. Tough area to police. Well, on Friday, Len Alchin was a very lucky man.
And he'll no doubt be putting his winnings to very good use.
I'll still be answering I wake up with today, which is what everyone should do.
Good on you, brother. That's sweet, isn't it? It is time now to give away some cash to another lucky viewer. Today we're giving away $10,000.
And we're heading into New South Wales to Attunga, and we're calling Tracy Wilcox.
Can't trace.
It's easy to do, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Just pick it up.
Len made it look very easy.
Very easy. What a nice bloke.
3,
Wilco.
4, come on. One more.
Timmy.
Tracy, you had to answer with the magic words.
Got in there at the last second too.
Okay, well, the good news is tomorrow that jackpot's
Put
to
the
a total
calculator, the
of...
Casio's in here if you want to...
I've pre-done it. Okay. $20,000.
Excellent. It's impressive. Well,
How do you fit it all in?
Still to come, wedding bills slashed. The online revolution cutting the price of your big day by thousands. That's coming up on Today. See you in a sec.
Beautiful.
It's a beautiful night.
Welcome back. Let's go straight back to our breaking news from the Gold Coast now. Hollywood actor Johnny Depp has arrived at court alongside his wife Amber Heard. This happened just moments ago. These pictures came in from outside the Southport court, where Heard is facing charges of sneaking her dogs, Pistol and Boo, past Australian customs and of falsifying documents. More than 230 people have been killed by a massive 7.8 magnitude earthquake, which has caused havoc right across Ecuador. A state of emergency has been declared amid fears that the death toll could rise. Thousands of troops and the Red Cross have been deployed to provide support. And meantime, in Japan, residents in the Kumamoto region are living in fear as aftershocks continue to strike following the two large earthquakes. More than 250,000 people are seeking refuge in evacuation centres. All right, let's bring it home and have a look at the weather now. A shower or two in Brisbane, 28 degrees, 22 showers in Sydney. Perth's showers increasing in 23, and Darwin, 34 degrees, and some possible storms. And a group of cute and cuddly baby Siberian tigers has met the public for the first time at a zoo in China. The quads were born at the zoo in late February, and even though they're only 2 months old, the little girls and boy wasted no time moving on to solid food, tucking into a large steak alongside mum.
Yeah, you wouldn't want them breastfeeding anymore.
You don't want them hungry when they're meeting the public.
No.
That's very true.
Good morning, David and Sonia.
Good morning, Sylvia.
Cute, cuddly animals. Old Zubru here.